And I'm going to, oh, good. There's Debbie. Welcome, Debbie. I am so sorry. I cannot believe what happened. You just got to roll with things. And I truly apologize to everybody who's hopping on here now. All right, let me start. We're going to go. I've got a lot of good stuff for you today. So we'll still try to honor the hour and a half, although that means I got to roll through this stuff. All right, guys, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Monica Weekly. I'm a real estate agent, been licensed since 2003 in Cincinnati, Ohio. So I'm still in the trenches, still doing what you're doing. And I also coach and train agents all around the country and in Canada. My lane, my specialty is referrals and how to build a business with systems and activities and daily techniques that actually enable you to predict your income. How would that be? And look, I know today's market is quite different. I don't know how long you guys have all been in the business, but for those of us that have been in the business a while, we know we have not seen anything quite like this. But here's the deal. Never has it been more important to double down on relationships, And so that's why I love this business I built. I'm going to share some actual data with you about my business because I had to restart my business in April of last year. Yes, April, right at the beginning of the pandemic. And I had been coaching for a couple of years and hadn't been practicing real estate. And I relaunched my real estate business. And I used the techniques that you're going to learn today. I used it to build a very successful business in a very short period of time. So I want you to know these are not some coach like, hey, you should do this. These are the things that I've done and that I've realized over time work. And I've put them into systems. I also grab information from other coaches and other ideas. So this is a hodgepodge, and I'll give credit when credit is due there. All right. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I have a PowerPoint, and the reason I have a PowerPoint is because I will get off track if I don't have a PowerPoint, and I will go down bunny trails and it will not be good. I mean, it'll be good, but we won't get through the class. So I want you to know you have a chat bar. Obviously you guys are using that. A couple of you guys are using that. Please feel free. I will be happy to stop as soon as I finish my train of thought and answer your questions. So this is just because this is kind of a webinar format doesn't mean I don't want your feedback and questions. So feel free to chime in. All right. So let's get started. All right. Referral-based agents, relationship-based agents. Can you identify with saying this? I wish I could predict my income each year. I wish my clients were easier to work with. I don't want to chase down any more leads. Now, the last two are for people doing transactional-based business. But the first one, I wish I could predict my income each year. I find that with referral-based agents, a lot of people are frustrated because you feel like you have to wait for the referral to come. Oh gosh, I hope my database helps me out this year, right? And I want you to know that's just not, that doesn't have to be. That is a myth that we don't have control. So I'm going to dive in here today. We're going to talk about why business by referrals. We're going to talk about why do people give referrals. Now we think we know this, but there's a little layer deeper that I want us to go. And when you understand this, then you will understand why the activities that I'm sharing with you work. The secret referral formula. I say that like the secret referral formula, but it's not secret because I tell everybody about it. But I am going to go over that today. And then from that formula, we're going to dig into the activities that you can do around each of those things to give you the results. And the results are more referrals without having to ask, being authentic, being organic, and just genuinely helping people. You're going to see this is going to feel very natural. I do not like to ask for business. I do not like cheesy marketing techniques. I don't want to be that person. And I'm guessing you're here because you feel the same way. So we're also going to talk about how to fly your real estate flag. I hope you guys know what I mean by that. What I mean is making sure you're informing, educating, and demonstrating to people every day through Facebook what you do for a living. We're going to talk about that, how to do that without being icky or feeling like you're bothering people. How's that sound? And then last, I am going to give you a special offer at the end of this to make your life easier. It is a very inexpensive, high value offer. I just want to let you know up front, I am going to ask you about that, but there will be no pressure to do anything with it. You'll either see it and think it'll help you or it won't, and that is okay. But I want you to know that this masterclass is going to be filled with activities and things you can actually take action on after today. Okay. So let's get started. Why a business by referral? Well, many of you, if you're doing business by referral, you know this. It is just a much easier type of business. You already have some level of trust or credibility, don't you? With somebody that you don't know, that you've just met, maybe a Zillow lead or something that came in off your website or some random door knock, you have to build your trust from the ground up. But when we're doing business by referrals, we either have the relationship or likely the person that's giving that referral has edified us and already sort of takes several steps ahead to where we have some credibility. Mark Zuckerberg says this: people influence people. Nothing influences people more than a recommendation from a trusted friend. A trusted referral is the holy grail of advertising. And so I want you to shift your mind a little bit and know that we are actually advertising in a way when we are building our relationships for the purpose of referrals. It's just not the traditional sense of advertising, that's all. But we are, in fact, building our brand. We are building relationships, and that is ultimately what marketing does, right? So here's an interesting survey just for those of you who are kind of number geeks and you really like to say, show me the proof, Monica. This is a survey. Actually, it came out of Keller Williams. I was with Keller Williams for many years, was a team leader there for many years. And this came out, it's a couple years old, but the numbers are still the same today. And without going into too much detail, what this did is they surveyed a bunch of agents and they said, hey, how much did you spend in each of these areas versus what percentage of your business came from those areas? Does that make sense? How much did you spend in this area versus how much of your business came from this area? So I want you to just look over here at door knocking, farming, cold calling, open houses. The light blue represents, the amount of money they spent, the percentage of the money they spent there. The dark blue represents the amount of income they received from that category. So look at these transactional type ways of doing business, online ads. Oops, well, that wasn't supposed to go there. Online ads, cold calling, offline ads, door knocking. The return's not there, is it? It's just not there. But yet we continue to bang our heads against the wall trying to figure that out. Well, I want you to look over here on the left-hand side. Referrals, sphere of influence, repeat business. Look at this. People spent 5.7% of their budget for a 13% of their GCI return. 3.7% was spent on their sphere of influence, but 25%, a quarter of their business came out of that category. And 11% of their business was spent on referrals, or their budget, spent on referrals, but a third of it came from that area. I mean, if you add these together, this is upper math that I'm not going to do right now, but 36, 25, and 13 is a lot. It's a big portion of the pie, isn't it? Why is it that we don't spend money there? Why is it that we don't pay attention to that return? But we go out here and we try to find the magic bullet out here. It's just not happening, right? So this is why we do business by referral. This is why, because it makes sense. The clientele is easier to deal with because we've already got the trust. And from a financial standpoint, from a return on our investment and effort, it just makes sense, doesn't it? So now I want to take us into why do people give referrals? Now, you guys might know some level of the answer, and I'm sure you're right. Generally speaking, they've got to trust you, yada, yada, right? I do want to dive a little deeper on this. Let's go a little deeper. There are two things that must be in play for somebody to take time out of their day to give you a referral. And please recognize that it isn't the easiest thing to do, give a referral. It's kind of a pain in the butt, isn't it? You got to stop what you're doing. You have to edify or put them up, give them a testimonial, put them up on what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, you've got to edify them. You have to get their contact, get your contact, share, introduce, whatever. It takes time. It takes effort. And people don't have time and the ability to give effort to things unless it's really important to them. So when we look at why do people give referrals, I want you to look at two things that have to be in play. One, they have to have a deep-rooted investment in your success, like a true care about your success, right? And that just doesn't happen if you are, oh yeah, hey Monica, she's nice, she's a realtor, she's good. Yeah. That level of enthusiasm about me does not give me referrals. Somebody's going to give me a referral has to be like, oh my gosh, we love Monica. She's the best. She's such a great part of our family. She's always doing nice things for, like, they have to really care about me. Now, how do we get people to care about us? We have to care about them. That's how people begin that law of reciprocity, which is when we show up and care about their lives and what's important to them and their families. That's how that begins to evolve within them about us, that deep-rooted care for our success. So it's a two-way street. It's a true relationship, not just a surface. Oh yeah, we know her. All right. The second thing that has to be in play, and it's equally as important, is they need to know that you will take exceptional care of their referral, their friend, their family member, their coworker, whatever. I don't think it happens when they're like, yeah, I think she's a real estate agent, or yeah, we used her 10 years ago or whatever. No, they need to see you working. They need to know that you understand the market. They need to know that you have information that they don't. They need to see that you're helping people. They need to be seeing all this stuff all the time. You can do that in a number of different ways. I happen to think social media is one of the easiest and most effective ways. So that's why today we're talking about Facebook. Can you take some of these principles and lay them against Instagram and LinkedIn? Sure. But this is totally geared towards Facebook. And I know you found this masterclass today on Facebook. So I'm assuming you spend some time there. Let me make sure if I do not have any other, I want to make sure you guys, I'm not missing any questions or something. Okay, we're going to keep rolling here. So this is the secret referral formula. And when you go back to here and you look at the two reasons people give referrals, I want you to keep those in mind as we go here. The secret referral formula that I have absolutely proven over and over again, and I coach and train agents on it, and they are having massive success at a high level when they embrace this at the truest sense. First, you have to show up as a human being first, realtor second. Human being first, realtor second. This is why this way is so comfortable for me and many agents, because we get to be human beings first. We don't have to put on that realtor hat and be fake and be cheesy and ask for business. We get to show up authentically, organically for those who we care most about. Show up like a human being first, all right? At the same time and equally, you must fly your real estate flag every single day. Now, some of you guys are like, whoa, that's too much. That is too much, Monica. I don't want to be that agent. Guess what? You're not. 18% of your Facebook friends are seeing what you post anyway. Nobody's seeing you. Nobody's thinking about you. Nobody's remembering you're in the business. They don't know what you know. You have an uphill battle here. And that is why consistency wins. Consistency wins that battle. When you, and I'm going to do a little demonstration with my hands here. I want you to think of these as gear shifts. When you show up like a human being and you fly your real estate flag every day, those go together and leverage out referrals. Because why? because they realize you have a deep-rooted care for them, so they begin to have a deep-rooted care for you, and they're super clear on what you're doing and how you're helping people, and that you will take exceptional care of their friends, family, coworker, right? Do you see how those two things go together? This formula fits perfectly in for the why the referral, why people give referrals, okay? So remember, show up like a human being first, a realtor second. That's fancy. That's fancy PowerPoint stuff right there, guys, right? We're going to look at this side of the formula first. Show up like a human being first, realtor second. Because guess what? Even when people know, like, and trust you, they will still forget about you. You must keep in touch. Now, the way we keep in touch when we're not talking about flying a real estate flag is that we strengthen and deepen the relationship, and we do things that allow us to be in their story, right? So I ask you the question, whose story are you in? See, we know who's important in our life, don't we? We know those friends that are just always there for us. We know who is in our story. I have a question for you. Whose story are you in? How many people say that you're in their story? That is the name of the game. And if you have 100, 150 people that you want to really work on the relationship, you genuinely like them. This cannot be fake or else it feels manipulated. You can't say, oh, I want to like this guy because he could bring me a lot of business. Nope. If you don't actually like him, this doesn't work. These have to be people that you genuinely care about, you want to spend time with, and you want to invest in the relationship. So when we think about dividing our relationships up into A level, B level, and C level, there are many ways to do this. This is just kind of a simple example. Our A relationships are going to feel a lot more from us in the way of an investment in the relationship. We're going to be much more involved and in touch. And they would say something like, Monica's awesome. She's like part of our family. She's great. Right? Can you see where that referral is very easy for them? They are connected. We are connected. The B relationship might be like, oh yeah, Monica, she's cool. And that's awesome. Is it enough for a referral? Is it enough of a referral? It just depends. You know, we don't have unlimited time. We don't have unlimited bandwidth. So prioritizing our relationships is important. So you may have, you know, some A's and B pluses that you're pouring into developing, deepening, and strengthening those relationships. You can't be all things to all people. And that's one area for improvement for most agents is saying yes to everything and everybody and not making an impact enough in our most important relationships. I promise you, if you had 100 people that you spent every day focusing on, I don't mean you focus on them every day, but you're working that list and being intentional with that list every day, I promise you, you have plenty of business sitting right in front of you. You don't need to spend money on Zillow. You don't need to spend money on, I don't know, farming an area. Now, do those work? For sure. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying for those of us who don't like that chase game and that massive follow-up game and developing the trust and the whole thing, for those of us who don't want to do that, everything we need is sitting right in front of us in our relationships. You're just not showing up in the right way. You're not showing up as a human being first and really getting involved, celebrating all of their things, making their life easier, helping them get what they want so you can have what you want. That's a Zig Ziglar quote. It's probably the truest quote of all. So they're not thinking of you on a regular enough basis. You're not posting about real estate. You're not contributing. You're not informing. You're not educating. You're not demonstrating what you do to help people, right? The C relationship's like, yeah, I think I know her. I think we're friends on Facebook. That's good. You never know when a C relationship is going to jump out of the woodwork and raise their hand and need help selling or buying. It's awesome. But your relationship should be ranked so that you can go deep instead of wide. Because deep is where the referrals are. Deep is where you don't ask for business. They just want to help you. Is this making sense? I hope so. All right, I'm going to keep going. So I want to give you a little something to think about. I want you to think about whether or not you're a past tense agent or a present tense agent. Past tense agent or present tense agent. So let's go through this. Tom bought a house with me 3 years ago, let's say. And Molly also bought a house with me 3 years ago. Now, Tom, when he's talking about me, if he's talking about me, he says, Monica was my agent, or I used Monica. Molly, on the other hand, says, Monica is my agent. I use Monica. Past tense with Tom, present tense with Molly, but I sold them the houses the same time. What's the difference? What's the difference? I am showing up in Molly's life. Now, this is fictitious, obviously, but I'm showing up in Molly's life today. I am invested in her life. I know what's going on in her life. I'm helping her where I can. I'm sending random notes or acts of kindness or gifts, or I'm helping her with real estate questions today, even though she's not buying or selling a house. See, we have to realize we can be realtors to everybody, even if they haven't bought or sold a house. Here's something, I'm going to just do a little pause on my presentation here. I'm actually going to stop share so that you guys can see this. A lot of agents believe that their job as an agent is to write an offer, show houses, and negotiate deals, right? Think of realtor, that's what you kind of think of doing. I want to let you know that is not your actual job. That is a result of you doing your job. You get to show a house, write an offer, negotiate a deal if you've done your job, right? So if you can really understand that every day you wake up and you look at your calendar, just because you don't have a client appointment doesn't mean it's not time for you to step up to your job. Your job is the relationships. Your job is remembering everybody's birthdays, anniversaries, calling people every day. And I'm going to give you a checklist of what you can do literally every single day. I'll show you what I've done. It's a hodgepodge of a couple coaches' results. So I'm giving you the best of the best. So don't worry, I will give you a list. But every day, that's your job. Not showing houses, writing offers, right? And so if you think of it, can you imagine that if you give an hour to maybe sometimes 3 hours a day, let's say, to your job, the job I'm talking about, the relationships, the conversations, not about real estate. I'm not talking about calling people about real estate. Nope. We're calling people about them. We're showing up for them. Can you imagine that for an hour to 3 hours every day, if you do that, you can have a consistent, solid business with a flow of income, 6 figures or more, very easily. And that's what you get to do every day is go love on people. It's awesome, right? It is awesome. Okay. So let me get back to sharing the screen here. So I want you to think of, for all your people, are you showing up as a present tense agent or a past tense agent? And from here on out, we're going to show up like a present tense agent and a present tense force in their life, right? Okay. I want to show you this little example. This is quite old, actually. This is a Facebook post by a gal. Our realtor who sold us our home 4 years ago this month has been a part of our lives ever since then. He is seriously the best. If anyone is looking to buy or sell a home, please contact him. Thank you, Rob Ranke. These guys were having a little baby. He sent a send out card with a picture of the baby. It's customized to them and a couple of brownies. This is a present tense agent, is it not? It is. It is. That's awesome. All right. What we're talking about here, guys, is appreciation marketing. And if you look up appreciation marketing, you'll see tons of different definitions. Generally speaking, it's something like this, where you're expressing gratitude to people you do business with or people who send you business, right? Now, my addition to this is it's actually a mindset. Not only is it things you do, but it's a mindset that drives you to appreciate those who are most important to you and your business. First thing we got to do is identify them, right? We have to identify who those people are. So who are your A's? Who are your B's? And we'll talk about that in a minute here, a little bit more specifically, how many A's, how many B's, that kind of thing. Okay. When you take on the appreciation marketing mindset, these quotes will speak to you. Mary Kay Ash. I don't know if you know Mary Kay Ash. She is Mary Kay Cosmetics. Pretend that every single person you meet has a sign around his or her neck that says, make me feel important. Not only will you succeed in sales, you will succeed in life. And of course, Zig Ziglar says, stop selling and start helping. I want you to wake up every day and say, who can I help today? And you're going to focus on those relationships that are most important to you. So you're really clear on where to spend your time. But who can I help today? Whose lives can I make better today? Who can I assist? And when we come from a servant's heart in that space, but with great intention and consistency. See, a lot of us have servant hearts, but it's whenever the ability strikes or the mood strikes or the perfect opportunity, but we don't prioritize it. We don't systematize it, right? That's what we're talking about here. I want you to think about our language as real estate agents. Oh my gosh, we as an industry, and I'm not saying you guys say this, but we as an industry, we use very self-serving language, right? We use, I need to get a referral. I'm going to take 3 listings or 3 listing appointments. Something good better happen today. I need to get a new contract. I need a sale. How can I get more business? I wish I could get more referrals from my sphere. I took a listing today. Look at that. Look at that language, right? Have you ever said any of those things? Well, I have. And I want to flip that on its head. Who can you serve today? Who can you help? Who can you solve a problem for today? Who can you enable somebody to allow them to trust you, right? We want to look forward facing instead of what we can get. It's a total mindset shift. The reason appreciation marketing works, it's the law of reciprocity. I know you guys have heard of this. And again, many different definitions, but the one I love is when someone does something nice for you, you have a deep-rooted psychological urge. I mean, this is deep. You're not even thinking about this. And tell me, have you ever had that experience where somebody did something nice for you and you're just looking for a way to pay them back, right? Your radar is up on that. It is a universal law. It's been around longer than all of us put together, and it's real. And it works. And so we want to use the power of that because we are in a relationship-based business, unapologetically in this business. All right. Okay. So I want to, actually, I'm going to show you guys I'm going to step out of this, I'm going to step out of the PowerPoint for a second. I'm going to show you something. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of Hank Avink. Hank is my coach. He's a national real estate agent achievement coach, very relationship based as well. He's a wild man. He wears an orange hat backwards. If you've ever seen him, you'll recognize him. But he came up with a daily activity that I have adopted and then I've added to it. But I want to go through it here on this slide. This is his slide, his PDF, and it's part of something he does called 36 to Life, which is basically how to do 36 deals and have an incredible net life, which is a lot of what agents want to do. Now, many agents want to do 100 deals, 200 deals. That's great. Some agents only want to do 5, but a nice solid business would be 36 deals a year with just increasing your price point every year and keeping an incredible net life. So he talks about this daily activity. I'm going to go through that with you over on my slide. And then he also talks about dividing your relationships up, your people, your database, which he calls a human base because it is a human base. They're not data points. So he suggests 36 people in your A's, 96 people in your B's, 228 people in your C's, and everybody else goes into D's. I combine my C's and D's. I just do 36, 96, and everybody else. Okay. So that I can focus on these 130 odd people, right? So let me go back here and we're going to go to what I do every single day to help strengthen and deepen the relationships so that I fill that side of the formula. All right. The first thing is you're going to go on Facebook and you're going to do 50 likes every single day. That's different posts. You're going to do your A's first, then your B's, then your C's. Just so you know, in Facebook, there is a feature where you can tag people. It's called friends lists. And you can go in and create your friends list and tag 36 of them or 40 of them. Don't worry about it being exact, but 40 of them as A's and 100 of them as B's and everybody else as C's. Then you can go into that friends list and you see just their posts. Just their posts. If we have time, I'll show you at the end of this. But that makes that really efficient. You don't see any advertisements. You don't see any of your realtor friends. You just see your A's and just see your B's. Super efficient. Very cool. But I want you every day to track. I want you to get a Post-it note and do little hash marks and track 50 emojis. You can do likes, hearts, laughs, whatever you want to do. All right. 50 of them every day. Start with your A's, then go to your B's, then your C's. Okay. The second thing you're going to do every day is you're going to do 20 comments, different posts from the first, and you're going to do your A's first, B's first, and then C's. And by comments, of course, I mean down in the comment section, you say, oh my gosh, it looks like you guys had so much fun on your trip. Oh my gosh, the kids are getting so big. Or, oh my gosh, that's so funny. Or whatever is you authentically, but you're going to comment. Because guys, you know, when you make a post that you see who comments on your stuff, don't you? And if there is somebody that is always supporting you and they're always liking your stuff and commenting, that makes you feel good, right? Well, you're going to start showing up like that for these guys, A's and B's. And C's if you have time, right? The next thing, and this is still out of Hank's playbook for 36 to Life, is you're going to have 5 conversations every single day. And guess what? Here's the good news. Not about real estate. No, you're not going to talk about real estate. You let your postings do the heavy lifting on your real estate talk. These conversations are about them. What's up with them? And they're also not about you. So we want to hold back on interjecting anything about us. I want you to just call with the mindset of being there for that person, asking great questions, coming from curiosity, checking in on how they're doing. And yes, in today's age, depending on who your friends are, Facebook Messenger is a great alternative. Texting is an alternative. I don't think anything replaces a phone call or in person, but for a lot of people, Facebook messaging and text is the preferred way to reach them. And so we want to show up where they are most comfortable. Okay. So you can do 5 conversations every day. A trick that I do is as I'm going through my 50 likes and my 20 comments, I will jot down 5 people that I saw that I thought of, or maybe have something I'd like to just check in on them. Oh my gosh, I saw that your grandma died. I'm so sorry. And I'll just do a little Post-it note of the 5 people I'm going to call that day. And I'll take that Post-it note and go out on my appointments or whatever, and just in car time, make those phone calls. Okay. Or in car line, you can, text or Facebook message or send them a video or whatever. All right. The fourth thing is in line with number 3, but you're going to have one meaningful conversation every single day. This is a practice that takes some time. It's a muscle, but it's something that once we get used to, will really begin to strengthen and deepen those relationships where, this is defined as a conversation that person won't soon forget. Doesn't have to be a bad conversation. Doesn't necessarily have to be a incredibly powerful conversation. It's just something that's meaningful, something that they won't soon forget. So an example I always give is, if somebody's grandma dies, that if they're an A or a B, that warrants a phone call. Would you say? Hey, I'm so sorry to see that your grandma died. Tell me what you're going to miss most about her. Oh, I know she was a great cook. Tell me what your favorite dish was that she made. You're going to really take a minute and show up for them. Human being first, remember? All right, the 5th thing, guys, got to do it. And we're going to go into this later in a little minute, but you got to post on Facebook every single day about real estate. And no, you're not going to bother anybody. No, you're not going to be irritating. Not as many people are seeing it as you think. And plus, people love real estate, don't they? They love real estate. They love what you do. They're interested in what you do. So they're going to be absolutely fine with seeing your posts. And I do have not only some details, but something that'll help you out there later. Okay. 6, guys, you got to post stuff about you. You have to be vulnerable. I don't mean emotional or air your dirty laundry. I just mean show your life, show your passion. Let people connect with you. If they don't know that you also have a passion for animal rescue, you are missing a major opportunity to connect with them. If they don't know that you also love reality TV and they do too, and you watch the same shows, like that's going to connect them to you. And that connection, coupled with you posting about Facebook or real estate and them seeing that you are informing, educating, and demonstrating what you do and how you help people, that's what's going to cause that referral or them to raise their hand and say, hey, can you help me? All right. And the seventh thing you're going to do every day is a bonus gesture of some sort. And we're going to talk through some of those right now. This is it, guys. If you do this list every single day, Monday through Friday, if you're not at your budget, if you're not at your goal, I should say, if you're not making the money, you might want to do this 7 days a week, but at a minimum, 5 days a week. If you do this for 90 days straight, 3 months, I guarantee we will be having a very interesting conversation about your business. We won't be talking about where your next piece of business is coming from. We'll be talking about how to leverage your time, right? All right. Anybody have any questions on this? By the way, when I say post, we're posting on our personal page. Now, if you're advertising a house, you cannot post that on your personal page. You need to post that on your business page and share it over to your personal. But the things I'm talking about posting about real estate, we're doing on our personal page. And the reason is, where do people connect with you? First of all, where do most people follow you? Personal page. Second of all, where is the connection being made? On your business page? No, that's where you're informing people and just, I don't know, you're giving information. Personal page, that's where the relationship is. Okay. So let's look at some gestures that you can do. You can choose from as a bonus gesture. All right. One would be something I call elevated birthday wishes. I'm going to show you an example of that. This is on Facebook, elevated birthday wishes, or it can be actually outside of Facebook, I guess. A random note of kindness or a send out card. If you're familiar with send out cards, they're cards that it's a website that allows you to send really customized cards to people very easily. It's a very cool site. Random act of kindness or an unexpected favor. You can be a connector, meaning if somebody needs something, hey, we're looking to, oh gosh, unfortunately we got to put a new roof on. Hey, do you guys need a good qualified roofer? I'd be happy to connect you. Or, oh, hey, this friend of mine and you guys are doing the same thing. You guys should meet. Be a connector. Help people solve their challenges. A request answered. Now when you're scrolling Facebook and somebody says, hey, does anybody know this? You're going to take a second and actually answer it. You're going to answer it because it's your job. It's your job because you're in a relationship-based business, right? The thought of you, like a picture or an article or a quote. I love that. Don't you love that when people send you something and like, hey, I saw this and thought of you? Even if it's not a perfect thing or like, oh, I already saw that or whatever. I love that person thought of me, took a second out of their day to cut and paste that or clip that thing and send it to me. Awesome. Brag about them on their page. People are pretty humble. They don't like to brag about themselves, but they do like it when other people brag about them. So if there's something awesome, and we can do this to our fellow realtors too. I love hopping on a fellow realtor's page and saying, hey, Liz's Facebook friends, I just want you to know she's a class act, one of the best real estate agents I've ever worked with. She's awesome and you're in great hands. Now that doesn't take anything away from me. And imagine how awesome that makes her feel. All right. Compliment people. Have you ever thought something super nice and you don't say it out loud? I used to do this. I used to think like, oh gosh, wow. It could be something superficial like her outfit, or it could be something more meaningful like, wow, I really admire her charisma or something. And I just keep it to myself. And that's silly. Don't be shy. Give compliments. Give them out like they're candy on Halloween. If they're genuine, of course, all of this, if they're genuine, right? The value share is sort of like thought of you, if you see something that you think somebody would see value in or that would help them in some way, you're going to give it to them. And then, of course, there's also the traditional gifting approach. All right. And I have an entire class on gifting. You don't have to spend a lot of money to be an effective gifter. We talked about making them really personalized and very thoughtful so that when the person opens it, They know that that gift is for them, that it wasn't one of 25 that you threw in the back of your trunk and hauled around all day and gave out. Now, those things are fine, but those aren't gifts. Those are marketing things, right? If it's got your logo on it, it's a marketing piece. That's not a gift. So don't be sending them a mug with your logo on it and think it's a gift. It's not. It's nice. It's fine. It's not a gift, right? All right. Now, as an example of the first one I said, the elevated birthday wish, this is super easy and you guys can do this and it means a lot to people. And you've probably experienced this, but instead of just writing happy birthday, you are going to think of something that that person likes and you're going to Google. In this case, this guy was a photographer. I Googled photographer, happy birthday, and these little cupcake, and then I clicked on images. And this cupcake with these little cameras came up, and I sent this to him, posted this on his page with a little, something more than just happy birthday, Umberto, right? This was a friend's daughter who was going into the Peace Corps, and I found this cool quote. This is the In the Arena quote by Theodore Roosevelt. Brene Brown uses this quote a lot too, if you guys are familiar with her. I just thought it really spoke to how I was feeling about her being, somebody that's really stepping up and getting into the arena. Okay, so these are things you can do instead of just happy birthday, Sally, happy birthday, Tom. It feels special. And this is what we're trying to do. Every little interaction, every little one, we want to elevate it. One level up, 2 levels up. It doesn't have to be all the bells and whistles. It doesn't. It's just elevate, okay? I'd like to mention this. Talk about gifting just for a second. Let me get a drink here. A lot of people ask about closing gifts and referral gifts. They're fine. I choose not to do closing gifts. I do referral gifts, and I'll tell you about my philosophy here. Remember the law of reciprocity? That when somebody does something nice to you, you will have an innate need to return the favor, right? When you do a referral gift, so somebody gives you a referral and you send them a gift, that closes that loop, right? They gave you a referral, you gave a gift, loop closed. Reciprocity loop is closed. It's fine. It's good. We should give referral thank yous. We want to encourage that behavior. Closing gift is, you hired me to help you sell your house. I want to thank you with this gift. You're closing it. With gifting and gestures, I want to open the loop. I want to open the loop so that the law of reciprocity says they're going to be looking to do something nice for me, right? And this is not manipulative. This is just understanding relationships. So instead of a closing gift, I will do a gift like 45 days in, just out of the blue. Hope you guys are settled. Want to drop something by? Can I come by and say hi or send it in the mail? Whatever. It doesn't matter. So those are called just because. My mom calls them sussy, and I did look it up, and it actually is a thing. It's called a sussy. It's like a gift for no reason. A random act of kindness is, open ending. It's opening the reciprocity loop, and all those things we just went through, right? So choose these if you want. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying be aware that you're not opening the loop. Okay? Does that make sense? Any questions on that? Okay. I don't know if I want to make sure you guys are seeing. Okay. All right. So real quick, for gifting and or anything you want to do in the way of a random act of kindness, something like that. You might say, Monica, right, I get it. I'm in. I love this. I'm going to do it. How do I find out what to send or what to do? So here's a couple little keys to get in the scoop. First thing, now that your mindset is in this place, be on the lookout for opportunities. You're going to be asking great questions, right? So you're sitting around the listing table and these guys are selling a home where they raise their kids and they're going to a condo because they're downsizing. You might say, hey guys, what's your favorite memory in this house? Hey guys, Now that you don't have all the yard work to do, you have the condo, what are you going to do with your spare time? What are you going to do on weekends? Ask great questions that open up and reveal what they're passionate about and what their hobbies are and what they're looking forward to and what's important to them. Be on the lookout for those opportunities. All right. Then there's, of course, what you naturally know about the person. There's also something you can do with Google Forms, which is free, and you can create a little question form that asks them, what's your favorite local restaurant? What do you like to do in your free time? Are you passionate about professional sports? What's the name of your dog? You can gather this because they're a VIP to you, because they're an A or a B. That's why you send them that form. Hey, I wanted you to know we're starting a new VIP program. And of course, you're at the top of the list. I wanted to ask you a few questions about you. Would you take a second to answer this? And you send them the link, right? It's a really neat way to gather information. There's also, of course, social media scraping, or what I will call cyber stalking, right? You can see what people are passionate about on Facebook, on Pinterest, on Instagram. We just have to look, all right? You can call a friend or call their spouse. I have actually done this before. I called a guy's wife because I couldn't figure out what he liked. I said, hey, your husband did something super nice for me in business. I'd like to send him a little thank you gift. What does he love? And she said, he loves the Reds and he loves whiskey and he loves barbecuing. Or no, it was the Reds, whiskey, and cigars. Okay. So that made that really easy to then go get him a cool gift. When all else fails and you can't figure it out, monogram something or etch their name in something like a wine bottle or a champagne bottle, something like that. Or put their logo on something, not your logo. That's a marketing tool, not a gift, right? All right, let's keep rolling. What time is it? Okay, it's a little after 1. I'm going to skip this. I'll roll through these. These are just opportunities to be generous. I like New Year's Day instead of Christmas. I like Thanksgiving instead of Christmas. I love anniversary of their home purchase. I love it when, gifting when they've accomplished something. Let's say they won their club championship in tennis or golf or something, special family events, celebrations for their family members. If they have a kid get into college, that's a big deal at their house, right? I want you to show up as Aunt Monica or Uncle Steve instead of Realtor Steve, right? So you better bet a bunch of swag from that college is coming to their house because we are celebrating in that family. Okay. All right. So this is just a little tip on how to divide up. We talked about dividing up your A's, B's, and C's. And a lot of people here ask, Monica, what CRM should I use? Or do you use a CRM? I don't. I use what's called a wall CRM. And I just hang a big giant Post-it note. They have them, the ones at like Staples that you can stick to the wall. And I'll list my 36 clients. And in my mind, I want to touch them 6 times a year. It doesn't have to be thoughtful gift, random act, handwritten, no, what it can be, whatever it is. I might write it in as I go. I just want to make sure that I'm being thoughtful with intention towards the relationship at least 6 times a year. You might decide 4 times better. It doesn't matter. There are no rules here. All you want to do is figure out a system that makes you realize, oh my gosh, I haven't talked to Sarah in like 2 months. I better call her, or I better get her out for lunch or coffee or whatever. Okay. Same thing with your B's. You might list all 100, but with your B's, maybe you're only going to touch them 2, 3, or 4 times a year. Okay. You guys getting this? Now, let's go to the second part of the formula. It's pretty straightforward, guys. You must fly your real estate flag every single day. Let's look at reason why people give referrals. Do you guys remember this? Remember number 2? They know that you will take exceptional care of their referral. They need to know that. Well, how are they going to know that if you don't demonstrate it to them? Let's look at the formula. This is the second piece. This is just as important as showing up like a human being. Let me take a second here, guys, and say, if all you're doing is showing up like a human being and you're not flying your real estate flag, you'll be very well liked, but you'll be broke. And In the same breath, if all you're doing is flying your real estate flag and you're not showing up like a human being, you're also going to be broke and you won't have any friends. It's the combination that really works for a referral-based, relationship-based business. Okay. So I want to share with you my results, and then I want to show you the tool that I created for agents that makes this really easy. If you think you can post every day about real estate without any help, awesome. You will not need this tool. If that's something you struggle with, like, what do I post? I don't know what to post. If that's something you struggle with, you're going to think you have struck gold here. So, let me tell you that on April 3rd of 2020, I mentioned to you at the start of this that I got back into the business. I was full-time coaching. I was getting ready to move to Florida. And I ended up taking in my 12-year-old nephew due to some unfortunate circumstances. And so now, after not having kids, I'm raising a now 14-year-old. And so 2 years ago, our lives changed a little bit. And we realized we weren't going to go to Florida. We were going to stay here and get him through high school. So on April 3rd, I made the decision to relaunch my real estate business. I had let it completely die. I hadn't been talking about real estate. I was doing a couple deals here and there, but nothing worth talking about. So on April 3rd, I made my first real estate related post in almost 2 years. On July 30th, from that work, I had my first actual closing, right? It was actually a nice closing here in Cincinnati. This would be considered it was a $400,000 house. So it was a nice closing. But it took me that long, to get something under contract and then get it closed. All right. As of today, doing the exact things I just talked about, since July 30th, I've done almost 10 million. And here in Cincinnati, of course, our average sale price is only about $200,000, 225 maybe. 30 deals. I have 3 pendings, 3 upcoming listings, and 5 active buyers. Now you'll see, I'm not an agent doing 100 deals a year because I don't want to do that. And most people I know don't. They want to do, somewhere in the 12 to 36 range. So this is exactly what I've been doing, that the list of 7 things every single day, and then posting every single day, of course. So I want to ask you, do you want to see a tool that will save you hundreds of hours, making posting really, really easy? Because I believe, guys, you are leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table by not posting. And the reason most agents don't post is because they don't want to be that agent. They don't want it to feel icky. I don't want to always be talking about real estate. Well, you're not. You're also talking about your life, right? So you're feathering that in, and it's going to be very natural. So let me show you this tool. It's called Ghost Poster. Ghost Poster it's a annual membership. It's Facebook posting ideas for realtors. Facebook posting ideas for realtors. Every day, Monday through Friday, you're going to get an email from me, and you are going to get a suggested topic. This was today's. I always put some sample language that you can choose, or you can change it. But today's was 3 ways sellers lose money when going it alone, right? Now you can just right click on this, save image, save it to your hard drive, and upload it to Facebook, and you are done. You've posted for the day. Move on. Don't think about it anymore. Get doing your 50, your 20, your 5, and your 1, right? Or if you're like, well, Monica, that's not really my style, or I just posted something like that, then you can go to let me get this. You can go to our library, and you'll have access to this. You'll have a login. And this is a collection of over 450 different posts ready to go for you. I have them categorized. By funny, educational, bad MLS, real estate jokes, staging tips, encourage engagement, real estate related, moving tips. I have all the holidays, that kind of thing. So let's say you were like, yeah, I feel like posting something funny today. You'll go in here. There are 54 of these options. This grows every day, or every day we, continue to fill the library. So I would give you, a post that you could use with language. Let's say this was one actually was pretty popular. My buyers found a home that they love. I swallowed the key so no one else could show it. I give you a little language. You can, again, choose to use it or not. but you can come in here and choose from any of these posts and just right click on them, save image as, and then upload it into Facebook. Okay. I want to show you, nope, not there. Not there. It's here. It's here. I want to show you some of the like level of engagement we're getting. This was a post. I said, how do we feel about this idea? I had 188 likes and 102 comments and 23 shares. Now that's a little abnormal. That's really high, but still amazing engagement. People love to share their opinions, right? And so when we ask questions like natural brick or painted brick, 68 comments. When you get more comments than likes, you know you're getting good level of engagement, right? So let me show you a couple of the testimonials from, these are some of our members. Man, I struck gold mine finding ghost poster. People love these posts. James got an actual lead after 2 months of being pretty consistent with the posts. Bobby says, showing up like a human will get you referrals. Because of today's haunted house post, I have a future buyer. You know, so these guys are, I'd be lost without this group. They're loving this ghost poster. I'm trying to find this back. They're loving the ease of it and the effectiveness. So today I want to offer you guys something. Here's your next step. If you like what you saw today, if you like this overall approach, you think this form will work for you, this technique or tactic will work for you, it feels organic. I have created this very low bar for everybody to get in and get proximity to me and my coaching. I do it on purpose because I don't want to charge a lot of money for this. I want everybody who wants to do business by referral, I want them to do it because I think it lifts our industry up and it makes us better. So today, this is what you get with Ghost Poster. You get that daily email I showed you. You get access to that library I showed you. All right. Which is normally a $5.99 value, $5.99 value. I mean, I could easily charge that for those two things separately. You get access to the private Facebook group. This is really cool. I say that it's priceless because I don't know how to price that, but a lot of agents share ideas. It's a very supportive environment. Everybody's doing business the same way in there. It's really nice. Plus, you get a weekly coaching call. It's a group call with everybody on Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you can't make that, yes, it is recorded. I usually charge between $299 and $397 a month for my group coaching. So at a minimum, this is a $3,500 value. Also, if you sign up today, my referral blueprint course is an online course that is more detail of what you heard today. I go into how to make friends lists and how to do some of these things at a greater level. All right. It's 6 modules. They're little teeny bite-sized 10-minute videos that you can, engage in easily. And it's about 3 hours of content. So it's just an enhanced version of what you saw today. Okay. I sell that for $397. So if you add all that up, well over $5,000 normally. Now, really, truly, because I want to make this very reachable for people, I do originally, we started charging $249 for the entire year, 1 whole year of all of this. Now today, right now, we're charging $199. We have kind of a little special sprint going on. But for you guys, because you just sat through this class, I am offering it to you for $149 for the first year. And you would use GP149. That's the code. Now, guys, this is only open. I think it's either the rest of today or through tomorrow. In my system, it says good through 5/6. So I don't know if that's all the way through tomorrow, but really, I don't want you to miss out on it. So just go ahead and sign up today. You will go to ghostposter.com and it's spelled like this, GHOSTPOSTR.com. All right. Kimberly raised her hand. Let me see. Yes, Kimberly. Are you able to, let me see. Let me allow you to talk. Hold on. Okay. You can
Monica,
talk. Yeah.
Hi. Hi. We originally spoke, through Espresso Agent. I'm so excited to hear your voice and that you're doing this. I am
Yay.
going to sign up, even though I
Yay.
do post. But what I love about you is just how I don't know, articulate you are, how inspiring you are, and it
Aw,
just keeps me engaged. So I'm very excited to see this.
thank you.
So I'm
You
gonna do this,
Oh my
okay?
gosh, you made my day. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Ab-
that. And I'm so glad you're here. And I can't wait to get you into the loop.
Yay! I'm excited too.
Perfect. Perfect. Good. Well, we'll connect
All
on the
right,
other side and maybe we'll get some one on one time on a call. Love to catch
excellent.
up.
Thanks, Monica.
Of course. Awesome. All right, guys. So I am so sorry for the rocky start to this day. What a mess. And we lost a lot. We had a lot of people signed up and we lost some people. But that's, hey, you know what? If that's the worst thing that happens to me today, all good. For those of you who did join, I'm super happy you were here. If you have any questions, I want you to feel free to respond to my emails or go on my personal Facebook page and send me a message. I'm very reachable. But I do hope that you sign up today, because what I would hate to see is that you don't sign up, you don't do anything with this information, you don't really post, and you leave tens of thousands of dollars on the table, because that's what's happening. Now, guys, this is not an overnight pill or overnight like success pill. This is not a magic pill. This takes time. Relationship business takes time. But I assure you, if you are consistent with it, it works and it creates just a awesome uh, culture in your business as well, and a nice, predictable, steady flow of income. And wouldn't that be great? All right, guys, I hope you have an awesome day. I will hope to see you soon. Sign up. GP149 is the code. All right, see you guys.